good night, wherever you are on planet Earth. You are locked into the Lunar Lounge podcast, live here on Facebook, live here on YouTube, and also on TikTok. This is the only astrology podcast with the host with the most planetary cosmic news in regards to astrology and cosmic activations. So much has been going on. Want to thank each and every single one of you, all you regulars that have been following me, been subscribing to my channel. Keep it up, please spread the word. Let the family, let the friends know. If you are joining this podcast for the first time, this is a podcast that aims to inform, share, enlighten people about astrology. I also deal with a number of other topics and subjects, such as numerology, tarot, all forms of divination, technically speaking, whether it's palmistry, all esoteric and philosophical knowledge, it's all here. So any questions about astrology, keep your questions coming. Shout outs to people also already in the chat. I can see Angela, Tyrone, is that Rikara? Okay. I see you all here. That's great to see. Also as well, who else is here? I see Cosmic Blueprints here, Rahat, Vinny, shout outs to Blaze. Is it Blaze Ox? Okay. Shout outs to every single one of you. Glad to have you here at the Lunar Lounge podcast. So I'm here every week, live every Wednesday, but I also upload another, I call it like midweek, but it's on a Sunday, which is beginning of the week. So I know that sounds a bit funny, but it's midweek in relation to the main podcast of this show. So that goes up on a Sunday. But the one on the Sunday is not available. The video is not available on the YouTube like the one today, and it's not live either, so that one you have to, if you want to listen, you have to catch that. It's available on any of the podcast platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast. You catch it on any pretty much all, as far as I'm aware. You can catch it on all platforms. So yeah, so you guys are here with me. I will be bringing up the chart for the moment, going through the various planetary upcoming activities that we can be looking forward to, how they're going to be affecting us down here, what it is that they're likely going to be manifesting for us. So yeah, that's what we do here at the Lunar Lounge. Any questions? Not necessarily personal, like, I mean, you may mention one or two things that's going on in your chart. That's absolutely fine. But I'm talking about, how is a call coming in? Like, how does that even work? Like, you're supposed to be listening to my podcast. But yeah, I'm seeing a call coming in here on my phone, but it is what it is. I could have swear I put my phone on don't disturb. I don't think that works for WhatsApp, right? Yeah, do let me know. Anyhow, what was I saying before I got diverted into the call that was coming in? So yeah, talking about the upcoming planetary configurations and what it is that we can be looking forward to. I know we've got a full moon coming up on the 1st of August. Venus is currently moving retrograde. We all know that now. I'll be talking more about that for the next, she's been retrograde now, like 2-3 days. So she retrogrades for 40 days. So I will be talking about that as well. So any particular questions, keep your questions coming. Yeah, shout outs to Jacqueline Witter also as well. Big up Shayo, peace. Afternoon all. It's alive, it's alive and well. Or who we got here? Kill Astral Player. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, Cosmic Child. Okay, you're all in the building. So no worries. Keep your questions coming. If there are any questions in relation to what's going on in the heavens, planetary alignments, want to talk about global warming, want to talk about what's going on the planet right now. Greece is burning up, Italy's burning up. I was just in Italy like last month. I think I went when it was getting hotter. I was actually in Sardinia, funny enough, and that was the place that actually came up on the news yesterday, saying like, oh, it's really hot. It's like one of the hottest places. They reach one of the highest temperatures of something like 49. So I was there. It was great place, wonderful place, beautiful place. Highly suggested. No, not promoting, no airline. However, if any airline or travel agency wants to sponsor this show, you are more than welcome. But yeah, no, Sardinia, shout outs to Sardinian people, the people of Sardinia. And yeah, beautiful weather, nice and warm, and even then there were some days that it was quite a bit hot, everybody walking around and with an ice cream and eating gelato. It's mad, it's crazy over there. So that's Italy for you. They love their ice cream, they love their gelato, that's for sure. And they make a nice one too. And there's also available for you vegans as well. So yeah, take take yourself down to Sardinia. Trust me, it's a trip that memorable one, beautiful place, lovely, beautiful scenery as well. But just going back to the weather thing, they were just talking about that on the news just yesterday in terms of how much heat, like it's how much heat that it's generating, how hot it is. So it's like, wow, so yeah, certain parts of, I know southern Italy is really hot. It's quite interesting because Italy's kind of getting some extremes. And northern Italy, they had some kind of tornado or something like that. They had some floods, like water was, like knee high, couple of feet high up in Milan, just like last week. And then at the same time in the south, they're getting heat waves, and the forest is on fire, and they're dealing with certain things, and all across like the Mediterranean is being like been mega hot. So global warming is real. Don't get it twisted. Just in my lifetime, I've seen the difference. Like I said in the previous podcast, I'm at December, I'm wearing certain clothes I wouldn't dream of wearing when I was young. That's for sure. So something's up. So we'll talk about that. But I think there's many things that could be pointed at. Also, as well, don't forget that countries also have charts also as well. So perhaps we can also explore the charts of countries. Don't know if I've got some of them here. I may have to look them up during the show or something like that. But the countries have charts also as well. Countries are ruled by planets and zodiac signs. So it can also be that there are certain planets in the heavens that are offsetting or triggering certain activities where it's going to the extreme. Normally, when we see extreme activity like this, wildfires and all these kinds of things, normally planet Uranus will be involved, Pluto may be involved. So it is what it is. So we may have a look at that and delve into that and see what's really going on. What's going on there. Shout outs to Lexi, shout outs to Faye, see you all in the building. Shout outs to Joe. Loving it. Thanks for being here live at the Lunar Lounge podcast. So where do I want to start? I do want to start with, it's the Leo season. Shout outs to all you Leos out there. Shout outs to every single one of you. Famous Leos. I did mention a few, of course, on the Sunday podcast, which just went. I'm just trying to think in my mind again a few other popular Leos that again who come to mind, but I always want to give like Leos, popular Leos anyway, sort of like give them a some kind of a shout out in some kind of way, so we'll be doing that. I will be bringing up the chart, also tarot card of the day, so that will be coming later. I also want to let you guys know that I've got for those of you who are on Telegram, I've got a Telegram channel. It's the Lunar Lounge podcast. So hook it up, look it up, connect. I put daily posts there and stuff like that, and card of the day and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you're on Telegram, link me onto Telegram, man. Join up. And any kind of whatever activities or maybe events that may be coming up, I'll plug it and post it on there as well. I have got guests who are going to be joining me very, very soon, starting in the month of August. So perhaps maybe each week there will be a different guest. So I'm just working on that, lining it up. Let's see who's going to be first, who's going to be the first guest to come on the show. So I'm going to have a number of people, from astrologers to tarot card readers, runes, healers, numerologists, astrologers, philosophers, poets. The list is going to go on and on and on. So keep it locked here at the Lunar Lounge podcast. If you're wondering why is it that I'm constantly turning my head this way, it is because I am looking at those people who have logged in on the Facebook. If you got any questions, keep them coming. And shout outs to all you people again with your comments on the YouTube channel, who have subscribed to the YouTube channel. Really, really appreciate it. Let's keep it going. The numbers are looking good. Every week I'm getting emails, from various social media platforms that are saying, hey, you're doing well, you're growing. So that's cool. I like that. I like to see that. I did say on my podcast platform, this show's big in Brazil. Shout outs to people in Brazil. This show's worldwide. I'm a boast. I'm gonna beat my chest because nobody else ain't gonna do it for me. This show is worldwide, people. Brazil, Pakistan, India, all across Europe, Switzerland, France, Germany. Shout out to all my people. Kosovo, Serbia. You wouldn't believe that people are listening to this in Serbia, Montenegro, South Africa, all across the African continent, Nigeria, Ghana. Shout outs to all of you. Australia, I got people listening in Australia. Seattle. We got people from Seattle in the US tuning in. Atlanta, New York, Miami. Shout outs to every single one of you. I thank each and every one of you for your participation, for your attention, and for your support most of all. Also, I have also let you know there will be subscription option. Website is still getting done. I know some of you have been coming back and saying, hey, what's up to the website? Yeah, the website has been somewhat down, but I've got people on it. So hopefully that should be something that should be sorted hopefully within the next week. I want that to get done before Mercury goes retrograde, because we got a Mercury retrograde coming next month, towards the end of next month. So hurry up, chop, please. I don't want to get caught in that Mercury retrograde and you ain't done my website. Like, we know what that's about. So where are we going? Let me see if there's any. Okay, no questions here at the moment. So I take it you're all listening in the background. I'm noticing here that different shades or, windows shutting, the wind just blew my door closed and stuff. So where are we going? Let's bring up the chart for the moment, and let's see the current planetary alignments and what's going on there. Moon is currently in Scorpio, people. Yeah, I need some kind of drum roll. I'm going to be having all of these sound effects, sound bites and sound effects coming in soon. Don't doubt it. I'm gonna make this show like, yeah, it's already the place to be, but I'm gonna make it more of the place to be. So yeah, so charts up. Moon is currently in Scorpio. We got a Scorpio moon, a very intense place for the moon. So maybe a bit intense over the next couple of days while the moon is in Scorpio. Shout out to you Scorpios out there. Hope you're all well. But we're in the sign of Leo right about now. It's the Leo season, okay? It's the Leo season. I did shout out some Leos, you know, Barack Obama. You remember Barack Obama, don't you? Oh, the man who could do no wrong, right? Yeah, Usain Bolt, Leo, Arnold Schwarzenegger. These are a few who come to mind. Wesley Snipes, Jennifer Lopez, Leos. There's tons of them, right? Jason Momoa, shout outs to Jason Momoa. There's a number of Leos out there. So happy birthday and shout outs to all you Leos because we are in your season. This is where the sun is at its most powerful, right? So sun in Leo is it takes center stage, takes the front stage, center stage. Sun in Leo takes all the stage. Let's face it. It is the sign of royalty. It's associated with power, illumination. You know, it's ruled by the sun. The sun is the center of our solar system. It is the planet that brings about life. So without the sun, where would we be? There'd be no life as we know it, right? So the sun is very, very crucial. And in astrology, it's one of the first things that we sort of like focus on, isn't it? Sun signs and stuff. I'm tempted to kind of change up the because it's looking a little bit dark here. I know what to do. Voila. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit better. Looking a bit more brighter, right? The way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I need some spotlight. We're in the Leo season, right? So I need to look a bit more brighter. So here we go. So sun is at 3 degrees of Leo right now. We did have an opposition with sun opposite Pluto. That's still there. So there's still a little bit of tension there. And remember what I said earlier on about like extremes? Pluto is often involved when planets go to the extremes in some kind of way. And we've had the sun opposing Pluto. And when the sun opposes Pluto, very often we get behavior of an extreme, extreme kind. Too hot, too cold, too whatever. That is how Pluto tends to be. And that is cooling off now. So in regards to what I was saying earlier on about a lot of the stuff that we're experiencing on planet Earth, the intensities of the weathers in places like Greece, Italy, was down to the sun opposing Pluto, because that's where I found we saw it really become extreme. Yeah. That was like 3-4 days ago, sort of like around the 20th, 22nd, 21st, 22nd, around that. It really started to get, it was heating up prior to that. So for roughly probably about a week, 10 days or so, we've been having this opposition to Pluto building up. And like I said, it's a purging planet, Pluto. Pluto is about purging. Shout outs to Tigress Tarot. Shout outs, I see you there. Great day to you. So just going back to the Pluto. Pluto represents it represents the purging. And what is fire? Fire is a purging element. It destroys certain toxins and poisons, but it will do it in a very extreme kind of way. So the sun opposing Pluto, and remember, the sun is the life force. The sun is our life force. It's representative of our life force. So an opposition of Sun Pluto, it's really going to let us know that, hey, there is some kind of extreme activity that's happening here. So some countries obviously seem to have gone. I mean, over here in the UK, I mean, today's quite okay over here at the moment, but we've been, you know, in the last couple of days, we saw like rain, like in July. I mean, if there's any time it's going to be warm in the UK, July's got to be one of those months, right? We're bang in the middle of summer, and yet we went through about 2-3 days where it was. I think it was even on Saturday, I believe. Yeah, Saturday gone, where it was just pissing down. It literally, like, the whole day. There was like, they said something like they was expecting like 2 weeks of rain in a space of 48 hours. I'm like, really? Like, what kind of extreme weather is that in July? If you said that was in October, I'd say, yeah, or November, I get it. But July? Nah, it's like it's a madness. So yeah, so that's essentially how this opposition with Pluto is going to work out. So if we wanted to know where certain aspects of what we've been seeing in terms of the weather, the intensity of it, it is that sun opposite Pluto. Now, the sun, although the sun has moved into the sign of Leo, it is still kind of opposite Pluto because it still works within a certain range. It is waning. It is waning. So what we will start to see over the course of the next 3, 4, 5 days, you will start to notice that the extreme of the weather patterns are somewhat calming down. And yes, of course, they've got firemen and workers on it also as well, and watering it, and helicopters trying to drop water to try to contain it. But what you will find is it starts to ease off a little bit. Because the tension again, the sun is moving away, and the opposition is not so intense. So it's waning. So we can expect the extreme weather to start to curtail. It may pick up again towards the end of August, middle end of August. Round about like maybe like the 13th, 14th, 15th, it may pick up again because we're going to have the sun square Uranus. And the Uranus again is another one. Very erratic, very unpredictable. There's no telling what may happen again in regards to weather with this square also as well. So it may pick up again. We may get another, again, okay, extreme kind of weather, and then it may die down again. So those are things, again, to for sure to definitely watch out for. So sun opposing Pluto, we're still kind of experiencing that. Shayo saying, what effects do transiting houses affect natal houses? Transiting, Angela's okay, Angela's shouting out Madonna. I think that was to do with the Leo crew. Yeah, shout outs. Yes, Madonna is a Leo. She is. Rikara, I have 5 degrees natal Scorpio. I have a 5-degree natal Scorpio waxing gibbous moon. Okay. 5 degrees. So the moon's just gone past that. How are you feeling? Feeling a bit intense, feeling a bit emotional? You're the kind of people that will kind of resonate with where the moon is right now. But it's in Scorpio, of course. So you'll be like a kind of like a lightning rod for the moon right now, as it's in the sign of Scorpio. Don't buy clothes when the moon is in Scorpio, people. Giving you little hints here, giving you pointers. Do not buy clothes when the moon is in Scorpio. No good. It won't last. I assure you, it will get damaged. And you want to be careful of buying clothes anyway, because Venus is retrograde. but we're going to come to that in a moment, aren't we? We're going to speak about, I said Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, sorry, not Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. Yeah, so you shouldn't be buying clothes with Venus retrograde anyway, but we're going to come to that in a moment. And I will be talking about Mercury retrograde because that's coming up too. So we can't deny the Mercury retrograde either. So yeah, not sure about how that question. How what effects do transiting houses affect natal houses? So well, the houses don't move. The houses are fixed, so to speak. It's the planets that are moving, and they will affect the houses depending on which houses that they are going through. So they transit through the different houses. They're going to affect different houses for different people based on the rising sign. So it will affect everybody differently. The transiting planets will affect different people in different ways. It's going to make different aspects to them in their chart. So one planet may be, challenging me, but it's, helping somebody else or assisting somebody else or vice versa. So different houses, different planets, different experiences, different aspects, different rulers. It's all going to be difficult. So it's going to be very specific to that particular individual person. So the houses don't transit, they don't move. The houses are fixed. They are fixed positions. The planets are the ones that are moving. And the planets are moving through the different zodiac signs. So that's essentially how that is. Aside from the planet transits, okay, you said aside from the planet transits, it's the planets that are transiting. It's only the planets that are moving, so to speak. Astrology is very complex like that. I may have to. We need a diagram, although I've got the diagram up. So at some point I can maybe show you, but that's like a class workshop kind of thing. Don't think it's advisable to do that on the podcast, but maybe it could be done. But it's the planets that are transiting. The houses don't move. It's the planets that are moving through the houses. And they move through the different houses throughout the day, but they move throughout the houses also in your own chart as well. So that's how the astrology of that works. So we've had the sun opposite Pluto, very intense, very extreme weathers, very extreme activities also as well. What else here? Let's go to the chart here and let's see what's actually what else is been happening. Okay, I also wanted to point out that the moon is currently in the sign of Scorpio, and the sun is in Leo. So that's a natural square. There's a square right now between the sun and moon. So what does that mean? That means that we are at the first quarter phase of the waxing moon, building up. So next week from now, that's when we're going to have the full moon in Aquarius. I will speak about that in a moment. But here is where it's a very pivotal turning point right now with that particular square between the sun and moon right now. It's actually a point where we've got a point where it's like a breakthrough. So guys, if you're finding it maybe a little bit difficult to do something right now, you're feeling a little bit stuck, just keep pushing. Here is the break point, like boom, the breakthrough that it is that you are going to need to sort of like get through to the other side. So it's a very, very positive actual time right now. And remember, the moon is waxing, meaning it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it comes to the point of that full moon where she's going to be at her fullest. So our intentions, remember, whatever we plant during the new moon is what we are going to reap in the same in the full moon of that sign. So the last new moon that we had was in Cancer. So the next full moon in Cancer will be in 6 months' time. But this is the first full moon, the one coming up in a week's time from now, which is going to be in Aquarius, where we should see the budding, the sprouting of whatever it is you planted in your in your life. Okay, so do take heed with that. But so this is actually a great time. The moon is getting bigger and it's coming up to a full moon. Here is where we're going to reap what it is we planted 6 months ago when we had that new moon in Aquarius, which was on the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year is always on the new moon in Aquarius, and it's always either maybe sometimes it's at the end of January or the beginning of February, but it's round thereabouts. So whatever you plant on the new moon is what you reap on the full moon. Okay, that's the way it works. So we got a full moon coming up. So whatever it is that you planted, and what happens with people is they plant things that people say, well, I wasn't doing nothing, I didn't plant. What do you mean by planting? What was your intentions? What was your motivations? What did you start? Because if you started something, that's what you planted at that time. So when I say plant something, I'm talking about an intention, a mindset. That's why people do like rituals, prayers, meditation, affirmations during new moons and full moons, because it's a time where you're planting something where it's going to be beneficial for you, for where that full moon comes, you're able to reap that. Okay, so do bear that in mind. That's how these new moons and full moons work. But I'll be talking about the full moon coming up. That's going to be, but at the moment, we're at the first quarter. Okay, so tonight, when you look out at the moon, you'll see the crescent moon, okay, the half moon. This is where you see it. This is the time of the month where you are definitely going to see that. So yeah. So that's going on today. What else? Okay, Mars. I've been telling you about Mars opposing Saturn. Okay. Mars has been opposing Saturn for the last week and a half now. Well, Mars is still opposing Saturn, but it's waning. I did say that we're going to be reaching that point where things are very, very frustrating. Mars-Saturn energy is delays, frustration, feeling inhibited in some kind of way, getting pushbacks. It's a very, very difficult time. It will affect different people in different ways, but it is a very, very difficult time. Those of you who are early, the early mutable signs would have perhaps, or are perhaps feeling this opposition more. So the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So those of you who are in the early, those of you who are in the early, so people maybe May 27th, 28th, 29th, around that, or 20, maybe even 25th, 24th even, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th of May. Those of you who are the early Pisces, so we're talking like February 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. We're talking about November. Those of you like early Sagittarius, so November 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. Those of you are going to be the ones feeling it. August, also as well. August, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, around there. Anybody, you guys who got birthdays around that particular place, it's going to be quite, you guys will feel it. Or if you've got those degrees rising also as well. Somebody, Ricara is saying that she's got 8 degrees Virgo rising here. So yeah, Mars is there hovering around your ascendant, and Saturn's opposing it. So you guys who are going to feel the pinch more, or if you've got planets around those degrees of the mutable signs, you're gonna be, that opposition would be picked up. But the opposition is waning. The energy is getting better, so to speak. Because Mars is pulling away from Saturn, plus Saturn is retrograde at the moment also as well. But that energy is still there. It's easing up, but that energy is still there on some kind of level. Okay, so we've got the Saturn Mars thing going on. But what I do like is that as Mars is pulling away from Saturn, he's forming a trine to Jupiter in Taurus. So we've got Mars trine Jupiter. Now that is really good. That's now that is going to be very, very beneficial for those of you who are Aries sun sign, Scorpio sun sign, Aries rising, Scorpio rising. And it could also be very beneficial for you guys who are Sagittarius and Pisces, and Sagittarius rising or Pisces rising, because those are the signs that Jupiter rules. So those planets are coming together to form a trine. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet of luck, the planet of opportunity, the planet of growth, the planet of abundance, is forming a trine to the planet Mars. Mars is about pure energy, pure action. People, this is the best time to get things done. This is the motivation aspect right here, right? Jupiter, Mars, trine is a real powerhouse. Nothing can stop you. So it's quite interesting that we've had the Mars opposing Saturn, where that has been bringing some kind of restriction on some kind of level, or some kind of frustration or feeling inhibited. But then Mars is coming now to form a trine with Jupiter, and it's almost like there's a huge release, a huge burst of energy. It's wonderful. It's great. Wonderful for doing sports, wonderful for finishing any kind of projects that you've been working on. These are the things that that are very key in regards to Mars, Mars Jupiter. It's a great aspect. You got any projects or anything, here is the time. You're going to have immense amount of energy to be able to do that, especially for those of you who may have a Jupiter Mars in your chart. This is the time to be brave, take on all comers, all challenges, all obstacles. You've got the energy to do it. It's a really uplifting energy. So we're going to be feeling very uplifted over the course of the next week or so while this trine is going on. Let me take a bit of water. It's getting heated in here. I got to hydrate. Shout out to this water. This water is the baddest water, out there. So yeah. Let me put that down before they start saying I'm advertising. But that water's nice. Straight from the mountains in Romania. Shout outs to Romania. Yeah, I got listeners in Romania too, Yeah, don't doubt this show, man. The Lunar Lounge podcast. So as I was saying, so lots of energy with this Mars Jupiter trine here that's going on, and especially for you guys, Aries Scorpio rising as well, also Pisces and Sagittarius as well, can be really great breakthroughs, initiating new things, great for launching new products, great for starting a new enterprise. That is a real good energy right there. So let's jump on that, people. Don't doubt Mars and Jupiter, both of them together. According to certain even astrologers or schools of thought, it's meant to be one of the best aspects that we can have. Okay, they may not necessarily be in the best of signs. They're in the earth signs. Okay, fine. But nevertheless, earth is very practical. It's very hands-on. It's very pragmatic. It can allow you to really get your hands in the dirt and work. You really want to, because you got Mars in Virgo, and Virgo is very precise. It's practical. It's perfection. It's, that's what Virgo essentially is about. So Mars in Virgo is really being, very technical. As a boxer, I noticed when I used to box, and I'm still into boxing, I still watch boxing. Speaking of boxing, we got some great fights coming up in August. We're gonna have to use astrology to pick the winners. We got Anthony Joshua versus Dylan White, rematch again. So it's second time they're fighting, but it is a rematch. And we've got Alexander Usyk fighting Daniel Dubois. You know what I mean? Double D. So yeah, I'm still on my boxing, man. So I'm really excited about August because it's gonna go down. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But what I wanted to say about with the boxers, I noticed that the boxers that had prominent planets or Mars in Virgo were very, very skillful. They were very skillful athletes. One Virgo that kind of comes to mind is Lennox Lewis. He was known for his skill and being very technical and technician. So very, very clinical in terms of how he fought. So Mars in Virgo is going to have that kind of energy. Okay, and then it's trining Jupiter and Jupiter's in Taurus right now. Very earthy, very solid, providing, orientated, and it's channeling all that energy into the Mars. It's really a huge amount of energy there that we can take advantage of. So you want to take advantage of that. They're about 4 degrees right now, but that's going to be going on for quite some time. We got probably about 2 weeks of this, actually. So up until it will start. The peak of it, if I want to just let me move the chart here, and let's see the peak of that when they're going to be exact. So the peak of that is going to be the 31st of July, 1st of August. 1st of August is really in the peak. 2nd of August. From the 2nd, 3rd of August, it's going to start to wane, but the energy will still be there up until about the 9th, 10th of August when it starts to slip away. So take full advantage of this, people. It's a great, great, great. It can also be lucky also as well. If any of you got some 5th house connections with this particular transit, go mark that lottery. Try get that lottery ticket. Let's see what happens. So it's a good one. It's very fortunate. It's a very, very fortunate aspect. It's a very fortunate aspect to have in the birth chart if somebody has it. But by transit, it's a very fortunate time. It's very auspicious. So we definitely want to utilize that. Taking some water again. So yeah, so that is the Mars Jupiter. So we got Mars Jupiter. Also, shall I talk about let's talk about Venus retrograde. Let's go back here. Venus is retrograde. Today's the 26th. Venus went retrograde on the 23rd, 24th. She went stationary on the 23rd. Started going so she's stationed on the 23rd, went retrograde pretty much 24th, give or take. She's going to be retrograde until about the 3rd, 4th of September for 40 days. Where we all heard that before. That sounds familiar, right? 40 days, 40 nights. So she's going to be retrograde for that period. Venus is the planet of love, planet of values. She's connected with money, security, our self-esteem. So while Venus is going retrograde right now, some of you guys need to be very, very mindful in what you're doing. Planets that go retrograde are really about revisiting or redoing something, going over something, revaluating. It's really about reevaluating something in our lives. Relationships often are very potent because Venus is the planet that governs or represents or symbolizes relationships. So relationships become very, very they become the things that we often will find that we are focusing on more so during the Venus retrograde. Yes, it can bring back old love, old lovers, old partners from the past. But in most cases, they do not last. Sometimes old flames try to rekindle, but it really doesn't work out. It's normally really about closure, about closing that door and allowing you to be able to move on. So that's what that Venus retrograde essentially is about. The Venus retrograde is very important for those of you who are Libra rising, Taurus rising, Libra sun sign, Taurus sun sign also as well to some degree are gonna, because that's your planet. But but those of you more so Taurus rising or Libra rising, we're gonna find something about reevaluating yourself. So it's quite interesting. The Barbie, I've been speaking about that last podcast. Catch up on the last podcast before. There are gems in all of them, man. This is the show that provides that. I am the host with the most planetary news on planet Earth. That's what I'm going to be making this postcard as. So, Venus retrograde really, we need to be very mindful in terms of items that we're buying. Try not to overspend. Try to be careful of clothes that you're buying during this time. During this 40-day period. Wait, people, just wait. God damn it, wait. Human beings, we're always this is that. Yeah, well, you shouldn't be doing this during this time. There's a time for everything. There's a time sometimes to pause, take a rest, take a breather, take a back step. There's a time for everything. So with Venus retrograde, it's not a great time to be buying clothes. It's not a great time, essentially, to be starting a new relationship. You can date, yes, that's different. But starting a new relationship, you perhaps want to wait until Venus starts to go direct. You understand? Because if not, you may find that there is something, the retrograde keeps happening in the events that you are trying to create, and you keep going back over it. Retrograde will give you something and take it back again, or seem like it's going somewhere and then redirect. If the retrograde is like a car going down the road, you think it's going straight and then it turns off. That's what happens. So you get caught with surprises. We get tripped up. So do be mindful of this Venus retrograde here, okay? It is a special one, especially that it's in the sign of Leo, and Venus is quite nice in Leo. So yeah, watch this. I feel I have been saying that one of the major things that we have seen with this Venus retrograde is the Barbie. The Barbie, I'm just seeing more and more. Like, I was in Shoreditch over the weekend, Friday, Saturday. I'm talking both men and women. Everybody's getting dressed up in their favorite Barbie outfit. Like, really? It's like, even to the point where I'm thinking like, maybe I should go and watch this movie. What is it about? But it is what it is. But people, as and I've been asking people, is it good? They're like, oh, it's really good. You wouldn't expect it to be like this. And I'm like, what could this film be about? I need to go watch it, because what is the craze? But this is all part of that. The Barbie is the Venus retrograde in Leo. So taking, and again, no disrespect, but Barbie originally, it was the blonde, wasn't it? That blonde hairstyle, which was out, because when did Barbie come out? 1959 or something like that, late 50s, early 60s. That's when she started to take, so and there was something about when the Barbie was first released, Venus was retrograde also there again. So we're seeing a cycle here, definitely repeating for sure. But the Venus retrograde is really about, there's something about that Barbie or the Barbie movie or Barbie doll that is essentially focusing on our values, how we value ourselves, our self-esteem. Yes, it's coming out. It seems to be coming out more amongst women, but it's also going to affect men as well, because men have a Venus. And, you know, men are going to have partners. Regardless of your sexual orientation, you're going to have a partner. So Venus is going to be playing, the Venus archetype is going to be playing its part in whatever kind of relationship that you are participating in. So this Venus here is really like crucial. So we want to be very mindful with our money, with how we're spending, our values, focusing on our values. What do you really want in the relationship, in a relationship that you are in currently? If you are in a relationship, if you are looking for a relationship, what is it that you're looking for? If you've just finished a relationship in your life, what was that relationship about? What was it what is it that you were looking for? What did that relationship teach you? What did it show you? These are the things that Venus in Leo retrograde is trying to show us, so that we can learn, so that we can grow, so that relationships can move to a bigger and better place. When our relationships cannot move, once they've, if relationships hits a point where it cannot go further, it goes dead, basically. That's essentially what happens. It gets killed. That's why relationships end, because it can't go no further. It's not about, oh, well, it's his fault, it's my fault, it was her fault, oh, she did this, or I did that, or they did that. No, it's not about that. It's about that it's hit a point where there's something that you're not aware of, and you're growing in certain ways that is making you grow apart in some kind of way, and there's certain realities that you're not seeing. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it's just that there's something that you're not seeing, and there's certain adjustments that you're not. So it kills the relationship. When the relationship cannot grow, it dies. End of. That's essentially how it is. So Venus retrograde gives us that time to say, okay, where are we in this relationship? How far have we come? Okay, what are the things that need? What are the stuff that we need to work on? What is the, do we need to do more of this, more of that, less of this, less of that? Reevaluate your money. All of that is connected with our sense of self-esteem as well, our sense of security. So what is it? What is it that our money? So how we spend our money, because spending money, especially when we buy clothes, because when we buy clothes, we want to look good, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. We want to look good. We buy things to beautify ourselves, to enhance ourselves, to enhance our beauty. So Venus retrograde is what is it that you're enhancing? What is it that you're looking for? And really trying to develop that beauty from within. And it's trying to align us so that we live a more fulfilled, a more balanced life. And the Venus retrograde is very, very potent for that. So shout outs to Venus retrograde, man. It happens every 18, 19 months. Now there's going to be an activity that's going to happen, which I want you guys to watch out for. I'm going to give you this date. I believe it's going to be around, I think it's August let's see, when is that going to happen? Oh, no, I've gone past that. I think, is it around the 12th? All on a moment. No. When are you going to be? Oh, am I getting confused here? So it's going to be on August the 13th. On August the 13th, people, there's going to be a conjunction of the Sun and Venus in Leo. Now, there is a moment where, when the Sun and Venus come together, or when any planet comes together with the Sun, there's a part where, when there are a certain distance between each other, it's known as cazimi. Okay, so Venus is going to be cazimi. This is a very potent moment. And it's only going to be there. It's not even going to be there for a day. It's under 24 hours where we're going to have this cazimi. Okay. So it's going to be exact round about. So I'm going to give you the time. So, you know, let me see here. Okay, so I got to do the minutes here on this one. Okay, let's have a look. So it's going to be like exact from about, I'm going to give you, okay, here we go. All right. So we're talking from about like 12:15 p.m. UK time, GMT, okay? 12:15 UK time, GMT. The Sun and Venus are going to be cazimi. This is a magical moment, people, right? It's a magical moment. Don't get it twisted. It's not an everyday occurrence. It's not an every month occurrence. This is something that happens like once a year when the Sun and Venus, well, it happens actually about twice a year, but nevertheless, it's for like under like 24 hours. Okay. So, but this is the starting point, right? This is like the starting point. So from about like 12 p.m., like noon, quarter past, the Sun, as I keep saying, yeah, the Sun and Venus will be so close together. She's going to be, it's what cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the Sun. They are like so close together. It's in the heart of the Sun. That is a real magical moment. And it's a very, very auspicious, very, very powerful time. It's a great time to do your meditations, to do your prayers. For those of you who work with rituals, it's a great time. Perhaps maybe you want to do rituals in regards of relationships, in regards of money, success. You want to be doing it on that day, on the 13th of August. It lands on a Sunday, actually. So that's going to be one of the days when I'm going to be, okay, uploading my podcast also as well. But you want to be doing it on that day, okay? I've just given you the time. The date is the 13th of August, and it's going to be at 12:15 exact p.m. GMT. So for those of you who are listening worldwide, you know, adjust your clocks according to that time. Venus and Sun are going to be cazimi. Get ready, people. That's going to be a real magical moment. Very, very auspicious time, right? They're going to be, you know, very, very close. And that will last. I'm going to tell you how long that's going to be for that cazimi. So that's sort of like the, if you want to say, the starting point. And then 25, 33. So you're going to have it for about a couple of hours. Well, or just more than a few hours, actually. Let's say 32. Okay, so you've got it up until about like 4:15 on that day. So it's going to be like you've got like 3 hours or so. Yeah, from 12:15 to 4:15, or we could say from 12 actually. Even at 12, it's still going to be cazimi. So let's say 12 noon on the 13th of August. 12 noon, okay, on the 13th of August to 12 noon to the 13th of August to 4:15 on the 13th of August. You see how big that window is? It's very short. There is where you want to do it. The moment after that, forget it. You've lost the moment. As they say, opportunity knocks once. So you want to take full advantage of that opportunity. So after that, they're going to be more than 17 minutes apart. So it is what it is. Joe, yeah, 17 minutes. That's correct. Yeah. So yeah, so it is what it is. Shout out to Florence for me. Welcome. I see you in the chat there. Keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming, if there are any. So that's going to be a real moment. So please, guys, mark that down in your diary. The 13th of August from 12 noon. This is GMT time, UK time. So make sure you do, for those of you who are, in various countries all around the world, or your various listeners, make it according to your time, adjust it to your time. It's going to be 12 p.m. UK time, 12 noon, and it ends at 4:15 p.m. UK time. That's your deadline. Anything after that, it's a gunner. So there is that. What else did I want to speak about prior to this? There is a few more. There's quite a lot more, actually. Let's go back. What else is going to be happening? Well, at the moment there is a Mercury. There's a Mercury Venus conjunction at the moment. Mercury Venus, that's going to be happening for the next 4 or 5 days or so. It's going to take us to the end of the month, just coming up to that full moon. So we've got Mercury Venus. Great time to study, great time for learning, great time for learning new things. Pick up a book, so this is really good. This can also be good for you poets. Those of you who are poet writers or into poetry, those of you who are into music, those of you who are into anything that is creative. Mercury Venus right now, conjunct, very, very good. Okay, that is actually a good time where if you put pen to paper, you will get enormous amounts of creativity coming through. So that is a very, very good time that we're in at the moment. You're going to have that for about the next, like I said, 4 or 5 days, 5-6 days at most. So just under a week. It's been there for like the last three days or so. But yeah, take full advantage of that, especially you poets. Great for writing, great for studying, great for learning, great for taking exams, great for any kind of creative writing. It's really good for that. So take full advantage of that while it's there. And then what else are we going to be having? We're going to have, what else did I want to speak about as the days goes on? Venus is going to come and she's, is that going to happen? Okay, so on the 9th of August, starting from the 8th, if 6th of August, but 9th of August, Venus is going to be squaring Uranus again. And she's going to come back and square him again. Now, Venus is already retrograde, right? She's already retrograde. So we know that Venus right now is going through her phase. And then she's coming to retrograde and square with Uranus, the planet of chaos. The planet, he's the shaker. He's the cosmic shaker. He turns things upside down. He is the great awakener. So if we have the awakener, that's his job. His job is to strike, to awaken, to electrify. So we got Venus, the planet of love, relationships, money. So there's going to be a spark there. We're going to see a huge turn, huge change, huge amount of energy being pumped into our relationship life, money life, huge changes. Uranus is very, very unpredictable. There is no telling. Like I said, he just topsy-turvy, would turn things upside down. So you want to be mindful of this during this particular period, especially those of you Taurus rising, Libra rising, and you Aquarians also as well. Want to be mindful during this particular during this time. It's going to be starting, there will be a build-up. So the build-up will start from about Well, the build-up really is starting from about, let's say, from about the 3rd of August. So it will be building up, and then on the 9th of August is going to be the peak. So the 9th, 10th, 11th of August will be the peak. After the 11th of August, it will start to wane. But during that time, tensions will be high. Tensions will be high, especially in around money situations, relationship situations, and stuff. You may experience, for those of you who are single, you may experience really quick, rapid, unexpected relationships, sex, sexual activities that coming up around that particular moment, which can be very explosive. Uranus is known to be very, very explosive. So watch out for these dates. They're very crucial dates. Have them down in your diary. Then a few days after that, the sun is going to be square Uranus. Again, unusual activity, very erratic. It's going to be a very erratic time. Do watch it. We may see some intense moments or very erratic situations, again, with the weather around that particular period. So that's going to be like on the 14th of August. 15th of August is really going to be when it's at its peak. It's quite interesting because on that 15th, we're going to have the moon also in Leo, because that's where we're going to be having a new moon. Okay, on the 15th, of August, there's going to be a new moon in Leo. So that new moon in Leo is going to be around that square with Uranus. So that's going to be a real powerful new moon. I'll talk a little bit about that closer, but again, mark that down in your diaries. On the 15th of August, we're going to be experiencing again a new moon. Well, it might be actually even on. Let me just double check that to see if is the new moon. It might actually be the new moon. Hold on, what am I doing here? Yeah, so the new moon is going to be on the 16th. Sorry, my bad. The new moon's on the 16th of August, but we'll see the build up because that square is going to be there. The new moon is going to be on the 16th of August, but on the 16th of August, we're going to be having an exact square with Sun, Moon, and Uranus. So tensions rising around that time, erratic behavior, very unstable. Watch out for those dates. Watch out for, again, extreme behavior, unusual behavior, weird behavior, unconventional behavior. Do watch out for that because those are the kinds of things that will happen under this particular planetary transit. So what else have we got here? So what else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the full moon coming up. Full moon on the 1st. I've talked about the trine, moon square, which we're in at the moment. Okay, so I spoke about that earlier. Spoke about Venus retrograde. I want to talk about the full moon that is coming up on the 1st of August. We're going to have a full moon on the 1st of August. I'm going to give you the time right now as to when the peak of it is going to be. I think I've already done that in one of the previous podcasts, but for those people who are, catching up. So the peak is going to be on the 1st of August, 7:30 p.m. GMT. GMT, 1st of August, 7:30 p.m. GMT time. That is when the peak of the full moon in Aquarius is going to be. Okay. This full moon's an interesting one. Full moons in Aquarius ruled by the planet Saturn, also associated with planet Uranus also as well. We know Aquarius is the air sign. It's very fixed. It's a very social sign. You know, it's in the air signs. Air signs do like their sociability. It's a people sign. Because of the symbol of Aquarius, it's always associated with humanity. It's humanitarian orientated. It's people orientated. So it has that kind of energy to it. That is the full moon, in Aquarius. Lots of information, being civilized in some kind of way. These are the kind of energies that Aquarius has. It can be quite detached. It's the sign of Saturn, so it has a detached kind of energy to it. But it's a great time to, like I said, the full moons are always about things coming to fruition, things manifesting, things coming to completion in some kind of way. That is what the full moon essentially is about. The question is, what is coming full in your life at that moment? It's often a time people do rituals, mantras, say prayers. It's a very pivotal time. It's a very sensitive time. This I keep saying new moon, full moon. This full moon in Aquarius is going to be at 9 degrees of Leo Aquarius. Yeah, it's taking place there. So for those of you who are more versed with your charts, check to see if you've got planets at 9 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus, because it's going to be in the fixed signs. And if you have a planet roundabout there, it's going to be picking that up. This is what my subscription, for those of you, when it does manage to land, don't worry, I'm sorting it all out. For those of you who are going to subscribe, these are the things that I am going to be showing you. Of course, when you sign up, you're going to have, putting in your birth details and everything. And according to your chart, I will be letting you know what particular area of life and what it is that it's offsetting also in your chart as well. What is beginning, what is ending, and so on and so forth. So subscription will be coming soon. It's going to be something like £10 a month, not much. I'm sure you spend more on a coffee, that's what it is, so £10 a month is not going to be much. So making it affordable for everybody. But for those of you who are more versed, if you've got planets at about 9 degrees of the fixed signs, then it will pick up the energy of that planet, and something will be offset, meaning something's coming to fruition, technically speaking. So full moon on the 1st of August. So we're all looking forward to that. Let's see what comes out. We may hear a lot of stuff to do with government, law, in and around that time. Whether it's one of the major countries like America, UK, maybe Ukraine or something of that nature. But we may see somebody again in the spotlight, somebody who's a governmental figure or somebody in a position of authority that's going to be brought to the spotlight with this full moon in Aquarius. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that on the 1st of August. Just looking over here. Okay, no questions coming through. What else? I think there's one more thing that I wanted to touch on, and that is Mercury. Mercury is going to be trine Jupiter. I mean, that's a long way from now, but I'll just put it out there for now. I'm going to speak about that probably on the Sunday podcast a bit more closer, and next week as well. So we got time. But Mercury is going to be trining Jupiter when he moves into Virgo. That's great. Mercury in Virgo is wonderful. He's in his own sign. It's going to be very strong there. Very good for any kind of attention to detail work. Very good for writing, bookkeeping. Great for research. Mercury in Virgo is wonderful for research, because he's got that perfection, that attention to detail. So look out for that. And it's going to be trining Jupiter, which is really good. That's excellent, actually. Great ideas, great for communication. For those of you who participate on social media, wonderful stuff. So that's going to be good. So that's going to be on the 9th of August. That's when the peak of it is. So there's going to be that. And then just to point out that Mercury will start going retrograde around about the 24th of August. So people, I'm letting you know now, giving you the heads up, back up your computer, back up your information. That's why I need to get this website. I need to get all this technical stuff done before, like, it's got to be done like in the next week, 2 weeks. Come on, please, people. Like, and I know the person doing my website, he's doing a good job. I got a new logo. Banging. My logo bangs. But yeah, so the Lunar Lounge website is also on its way. So I'll be updating you on that. But yeah, make sure before the Mercury retrograde, everything gets sorted. For those of you who drive, make sure you're getting your cars checked out, transportation, all that kind of stuff. You know, keep your eye out on all the strikes and transportation delays and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to get more of it during the Mercury retrograde. Of course we are. Okay, for those of you who are traveling during that particular time, just be mindful. Make sure you get into the airport, like, you know, way ahead of time. Double check your documents, you know, that kind of thing. So you're hearing it here live on the Lunar Lounge podcast first, right? So that will be the Mercury retrograde. So that's going to be on the 24th, 25th of August. That's going to kick in. The Mercury retrograde is always 21 days. So it is what it is. And again, he's going to come back in his retrograde again, and he's going to trine Jupiter as well. So Mercury retrograde is coming up, but that's a month from now. Today's what, 26? So we you know, so we got a month. So I will be talking more and more about that, and be keeping you updated in terms of what's going to be happening with the Mercury retrograde and what it is that we can look forward to. And Venus will still be retrograde around that time as well. So let's not forget that. So we're going to have Mercury and Venus both retrograde at the same time. Like, whoa. Yeah. As DMX said, you know, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. Hold me down, baby. So yeah, that was it. That was it. I think that was it. So that is the planetary cosmic news for now. I believe. Let me just double check that I've got everything and didn't miss anything. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? No. Mercury is going to oppose Saturn. I didn't talk about that. When is that going to be? So that's going to be about just after the full moon. Mercury, or just around the full moon, actually, he's going to be opposing Saturn actually on the full moon. So we're going to have, so watch out for transportation, watch out for traveling around that period. Again, we're going to have the planet Mercury. For you guys who do trading, if you're a trader, you want to be staying away from trading around that day. That's for sure. And probably even building up to that. So as a matter of fact, you probably want to, from about like the 30th of July, 30th of July, 31st of July, 1st of August, 2nd of August, 3rd of August. After the 3rd of August, 4th of August, you're kind of okay. You're in better territory. So for those of you who trade, watch the markets around that time, because, you know, things are likely to plummet. You know, it's not going to be good. I suppose for those of you who know how to trade, you can make money on when stuff's going down as opposed to when it's going up also as well. So you've got that advantage, I guess. So that's okay. But yeah, do watch out for that, because Mercury is the planet of commerce. It's the planet of trade. And if he's opposing Saturn in the heavens, well, Saturn's going to restrict something. So it ain't going to be too good for trade around that particular time. So watch out for that. Yeah, I think that was about it. That is the cosmic news for now. Planetary alignments. You got the updates. I'm hoping that you should be having a diary when you listen to this show, and you should be marking down these pivotal dates, times that I'm giving you, because that's what you do. You work with the planets, so you're ahead of time. It's you're making chess moves right here at the Lunar Lounge. Is where you have it. It's that time of the day. I think I'm going to be doing the tarot card of the week, I believe. So let me get my tarot cards, and what are the cards going to be saying? So I'm going to give it a good little shuffle. What did we have last week? We had the Three of Swords, didn't we? Yeah. What realization did you guys come into with that? So I'm going to take some more water. I go through about 2-3 of these a day. That you need it, especially when you're doing this show. Okay, so just shuffling the cards. So I'm going to be doing the card of the week. Tarot card of the week. What is else I was going to say? Let me just make some announcements also as well. So subscriptions coming soon. Website will be up soon. Got new astrology courses. They're going to be starting very soon also as well. Some of you have been hitting me up and asking me, hey, when are the astrology courses are coming soon? I am busy, mad busy. I'm being flown out. I've been, sometimes I'm thinking, am I going to be able to even do this podcast eventually? Busy. I'm telling you, man, like mad contracts. I ain't even lying. I'm hitting you with honest truth. I'm mad busy. So to be fitting in classes and then doing podcasts and I think I'm going to start looking for some employees soon. I'm going to be looking for some glamorous assistants to help me out with my work. Let's put it that way. Okay, Jacqueline Witter says she's noted them in her diary, so there we go. Maybe she got something in Virgo, so she's making sure that everything's in order. Shout outs to you, Virgos. Your season soon coming up. I've got a Telegram, people. So if you can follow me, join me on the Telegram. I do daily posts, put up daily posts in the Telegram. It's the Lunar Lounge podcast. Okay, the Lunar Lounge podcast on Telegram. So for those of you who are on Telegram, follow that. Sign up, where you will be getting more news and more updates as to what's going on also as well. So shout out to that. What else was I going to say? Lunar Lounge website is coming up, and there's going to be lots of activities going on there. Competitions coming up soon. I know I keep saying that I've got the books ready, I've got certain prizes ready. It's just the way I'm just going to be forming the questions. That's what I've been having a little bit of issues with, but it is going to be what it is. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to set a date or a time, and the first person who gets there, it's probably going to be done by email. So just stay cool, because if I do it on the live, it's going to be unfair for those people who don't get to watch the show, the podcast live, and who listen to the podcast perhaps on other platforms where maybe the next day or the day after. So for those of you, press the like button, man. Subscribe, press the like button. You get notifications also as well. Just shuffling these cards here, and I'm going to be pulling out the card of the week. Let's see what are the energies that we're going to be working with this week. Okay. Card of the week is going to be Seven of Swords, people. We got Three of Swords last week. Now we got the Seven of Swords. Okay? Seven of Swords. So what is this about? Well, over the course of the next week, the Seven of Swords is reminding us that we need to use this brain over brawl. It's about being tactical. It's about using our minds to get what we want. It's also about being very cautious and about being somewhat sneaky, but not in a negative way. Perhaps if you've got plans, you've got goals, this is a time where you don't want to be telling everybody what it is that you're doing. Being a bit discreet. It's not about going in direct, full blast in whatever it is that you're doing. What this card is saying is that be tactical, be careful in terms of how you're doing it. Yeah. This card is also a warning about theft. So watch out for your belongings, people, over the course of the next week. Yes, the Seven of Swords also warns against theft. So don't leave your stuff. I mean, you should be leaving your stuff lying around anyway. But yeah, of course, some of us get away with things more than others. But yeah, you don't want to be leaving stuff around. So it's about theft also as well. So make sure you take care of your belongings over the course of the next week. Be cautious, be mindful. Using more of this, using more of the mind, being mentally alert. Yeah, being more mentally calculated in your approach towards things. That's what the Seven essentially is about. Being tactical, walking away from things that but doing it in a kind of, just gentle moving out. Something that's maybe not working for you. You're dealing with people and you don't want to just just slowly, but you're just kind of like, okay, let me just take myself away from this particular situation. Do it in a tactical way. If maybe things are getting a bit heated or something, okay, all right, I've got to go, that kind of thing. So you're being very, what's the word that I'm actually looking for? I mean, tactical, of course. But there's another word that I'm trying to being civilized about a matter. Not getting into arguments, not coming in full blaze, trying to use the tactics. Okay, oh, you're moving like that? Okay, I'm going to move like this. That is what this card essentially is about. The Seven of Swords is the card of the week, people. So take heed. Mind how you travel, mind how you move. I want to thank each and every single one of you who have came on the YouTube. Shout outs to every single one of you. Shout outs to Tyrone. You're going to be on the show soon, Tyrone. I'm sure you might be the first one. So you're going to be getting a text from me soon, any day now. I ain't seen brother for a good minute, but yeah, gonna have to have you on the show. Kicking off the show. So it's all good. B Miles in Virgo, pay attention to the details. Yeah, certainly. Shout outs to that. But yeah, that is the card of the day. Gonna bring the show to a close. The show will be uploaded. It will be uploaded today on the YouTube, and it will be uploaded also on all of the podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, Podchasers, Podcast Addicts. I'm there. So yeah, you can hit me up on any of those particular platforms. I want to thank each and every single one of you. Shout outs to all my subscribers, all my supporters all around the world. Much love. All the countries, you know who you are. I mean, I got a big Brazil. I can't believe my podcast is top in Brazil. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, it is what it is, man. So shout outs to that. So yeah, keep promoting, keep subscribing, keep following. Let's do this. This is the Lunar Lounge podcast. I am your host, Israel Josie, and we are out. The next podcast will be uploaded on Sunday. This one will be uploaded today, of course, and then the next podcast will be coming this Sunday. What podcast do you know twice a week? Yeah, every 3 to 4 days, you got a new podcast being uploaded. Yeah, man. It's only at the Lunar Lounge where it happens. So thank you to each and every one of you. I'm out, people. Thank you. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye.